Hello everyone, Snipe Trading here. Today is Wednesday, April 14th, and I'll be going over my recap for today. So today, it's a second red day with a total of $151 loss. And I could have ended the day green on TV, but I end up making a few mistakes, which turned the TIGR TV from a $280 win to a $125 loss. And I'll go over that in a bit. But the topic here is on TV will be shorting pops and making a chain of mistakes. So let's start from the top here. TIGR for a $204 win. So TIGR was a morning short. You can see there's a nice inverted cup and handle here forming. I shorted that out of the 2044 break and took my covers at 2032 and then the rest with an average of 214 there, average with the lowest of 2006 there. So that was a $204 win there, and this was just the correction of the 1 minute to the 5 minute chart. Next trade is CDEV. So CDEV, a couple trades here. I think I took a trade here, and this was the 5 minute reversal to the 15 minute chart. I felt a little bit kind of, I think this action was a little weird, so I didn't really trust it, but I end up taking a early cover here after this inverted cup and handle. Or it might have been like the 5 minute test where I just took cover there and it ended up traveling back to the 15 minute chart. And then I tried to take another short here during this push. So I took a short here. It was a little bit early and I took a loss. And then I took another short here and that was a win. Covered on the 15-minute chart and then re-short on the pop. So this re-short worked and I covered there on the rest there. Yeah, so that was just a $68 win there on CDEV from those plays. Next trade was OCGN. So OCGN had a couple spot here that I traded. So traded one spot here, which was kind of holding support, resistance as support, and I thought this was going to be a nice breakout. It didn't pick up any volume there, so you can see that volume wasn't picked up on this break. Continued trailing and then end up fading back down. So I went ahead and just took it off break even on that area. And then I tried another trade here, which was the potential breakout of this trend line. And I was hoping for another volume push, maybe a squeeze or VWAP. But that also didn't happen. And I pretty much took it off flat as well. And that was just a small $7 win on OCGN. Next trade was BTU. So BTU had I was also looking for a reversal here. So I think this one had a high institutional ownership and I was looking for a flag break or fail. I ended up taking a short at 367 and covering it just 369 there for a small loss. And it ended up kind of breaking out there with the 5 minute all caught. So that was a small loss of $25. Next trade was ZOM, ZOM. So here I saw the 15 minute was extended. I was looking for this lower highs, and short on this 1010 break. It happened for a moment there. You can see that wick, and as I mentioned on most of my recaps, when you see this wick, it's like a bullish move. So I went ahead and just covered off that 111 push, 112 push for a $48 loss. So I was expecting maybe a farther retest of the 15-minute chart, but after this push, the 15 minutes all caught up now. So that continued higher there on ZOM for $48 loss. Next trade is INPX. So INPX, there was a couple of spots here that I went to short. I think the first spot was this high day push. It failed, and I was looking for that inverted cup and handle. It didn't exactly break, so I ended up covering there, and it ended up kind of fading afterwards. There was another spot here that I was watching right here for this trend break off this kind of larger trend line, and it broke, and then there was this kind of inverted cup and handle forming. So this would have been a nice spot, 126 break, risking 129s, 128. So it's a 2-cent risk there, and it went pretty much like 6-7 cents. So it's not bad there, but I missed it. So that was INPX, but took this trade here for $65 loss. Next trade was MVIS. So MVIS was a $81 loss, and my stop was a little bit too tight here, but it ended up kind of trailing back down to the 15-minute test right after I stopped out. So my first signal here was this inverted cup and handle here. I took that signal, and then here's the wick again, held VWAP on this first dip. So when it popped back up over and kind of held above this, it closed above this breakdown line, I went ahead and just stopped out there. And it would have stopped me out anyways from this wick, but it failed to hold above it, so it ended up trailing back down. So this was a nice trail had I had kind of a wider stop here, but I stopped out and it went back down. So that's a $81 loss there on MVIS, and this was a 1-minute extension to a 5-minute, and it got to the hourly chart there on MVIS. Next trade was PPD, and this was an after-hour trade. Took a few paper cut losses here, but I saw in the after-hour that it was had this spike during regular market in the last minute or so, and you can see the 5-minute is down here and the 1-minute is up here. And I was trying to look for a inverted cup and handle on this 1-minute break. So I had some opportunity to kind of cover here for a like a $50 or $80 win. I didn't take it, and I ended up stopping out for pretty much flat. I attacked it again and then stopped out here for a $50 loss. And then I tried again right here, another short, and stopped out for another $30 loss, totaling of $80. I ended up trying to break higher days and then fading all the way back down. So that would have been the play I was looking for, but now it's just kind of slowly grinding back, and there's like exactly no volume here. And the volume was the last 2 minutes of the day. But that was an $86 loss. And the last trade of the day was TV. So TV, I had a nice entry here on the first break here. So you can see right here. So there was actually a flag line right here, so it failed. I started short a little bit early. You can see this little flag line. I started some there. Look, I was watching this flag. It didn't really go, so I ended at it short. And then I end up covering down here at 1230s from a short of 1245s or so. So that was a nice win. I think this was a $280 win that I mentioned. And then I try to short the pops here. So I saw a very nice trendline break. This was a nice trendline break, and it hasn't tested the hourly yet. So I was expecting an hourly test maybe after a retest on this, and then repop short for a lower. End up holding and kind of popping back through that. So my re-short pop here, I end up stopping out, and then I tried to kind of fought it again. I saw these wicks and I thought it was going to be a break and maybe a retest on the hourly, but I went in and out here a couple times and then ended up from a good short here to giving away my profits there. just from a bad repop here. So when this repop kind of just held on, pretty much my strategy was all messed up there, and I just pretty much played by maybe emotions by that point, because usually when things usually hold like this, it's usually a inverted cup or a cup and handle, and usually it'll break out. So I wasn't thinking on my feet there, but definitely this short pops kind of messed up my chain of actions, and ended up with a bigger loss today than it would have been a green day had I just stopped there. But that was a decent loss, but nonetheless, it's a small loss overall for today. And hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. But yeah, that's my recap for today, and down to 151. So thank you for everyone for sticking around, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.